You know what? If I kill somebody, I gotta go to jail. You gotta go to jail too.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Cardi B Joe Biden interview. Yes, I did watch the entire thing, so you don't have to. If for some reason you want to watch that full interview, if you want to take 15 good minutes of your life, douse it in gasoline, throw a match on it, set it on fire, you're more than welcome to. A link to the full interview will be in the description box below. But let's start from the very beginning. I think, just my opinion now, you probably agree that it's pretty insulting for Joe Biden to not give any of the Sunday shows an interview yesterday, which was Sunday, August 16th, but he gave Cardi B an interview instead. All right. He could have went on with Chris Wallace on Fox, Chuck Todd on NBC. Didn't do any of that. Didn't even send Kamala Harris. He didn't do anything. He just went straight to Elle Magazine and Cardi B. I mean, what kind of slap in the face is that? And let's be clear, the DNC is happening right now, like as I speak, this week. Okay, yesterday would have been perfect because it's the day before the DNC. You want to promote it, get your ideas out there, and tell everybody in America to watch. But you didn't do that. And you got some heavy hitters coming to the DNC, or at least doing virtual talks. You got AOC, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. You got John Kasich. You got some left, right, center affiliating people speaking at the DNC, and Joe Biden himself will get a nomination, I think, on Thursday, and he'll talk. Kamala Harris will talk. So it's like, why don't you promote that? You want to give Cardi B an interview? It's insulting because is that what you think that the electorate wants, that your base wants? You think we're too dumb? Well, not me. I'm not included in the we. I'm talking about the American people. You think Americans are too dumb to watch NBC or Fox News and, have you talk to somebody that's a real interviewer and not some stripper rapper entertainer? Huh? Oh, yeah. If you don't know who Cardi B is, she is a rapper and she's also like a stripper. So once you put, it's like a whole genre of music. It's a bunch of strippers that rap. So she's a strapper, okay? So that's what you want to have to interview the Democratic presidential nominee in 2020? A stripper rapper? Really? Is that what we're going to do? Are you trying to get some of that millennial, Gen Z, the BIPOC vote? And if you don't know what BIPOC is, that's a new woke term they got for black, indigenous people of color. BIPOC, BIPOC. Okay, are you trying to get some of that vote, some of the BLM supporter vote, some of the Antifa? Is that what you're gonna do, saying Cardi B? Ridiculous, but I digress. This interview was really not impressive. First of all, it's virtual, right? So Cardi B's on one screen looking like, 35-year-old auntie from Puerto Rico trying to get a job in New York City. Then you got Joe Biden looking like he got one foot in the grave, okay? Joe Biden is what, 77 years old? I think he'd be 78 in November. He looks every bit of 175 years old, straight up and down. I'm not even trying to be funny. Joe Biden looks like he has one foot in their grave right now, all right? I don't know where he was teleconferencing from. He probably had a green screen and a casket, straight up and down. He looked terrible. One of the craziest parts is when he said he has 4 kids and 5 grandkids. Well, Joe Biden, you have 7 grandkids, sir. Did you forget about 2 whole kids? And it was, like I was saying, heavily edited. It was about 15 minutes, but they probably were talking for a good half hour or more. Heavily edited. It's virtual, but it was not live. It was not a live stream. It was something they really chopped together, pieced together for this whole thing. Now, when he does the live streams from the basement, he looks terrible. And they know that. That's why they don't want to do any kind of interviews with anybody. They don't want to talk to reporters out there. I didn't do a video on it, but I put it on my Instagram page the other day where Kamala Harris and himself were at an actual live event. I forget what the event was, some kind of random event. I think it was only press that were there, nobody else. And at the end of the event, after they got done saying whatever they were going to say, Biden staff shooed all the reporters away. Like, okay, that's enough, guys. That's enough. Have a nice day. All this and that and the third, right? So it's like, okay, you don't want to take questions. You don't want to go on the Sunday shows. You don't really want to do much of any kind of campaigning outside of your basement. That's your whole strategy, to stay in the basement. But you're going to give Cardi B an interview This is ridiculous. What is he going to do come Thursday when he's scheduled to speak at the DNC? When he gets a nomination, how are they going to protect this man from that? How are they going to protect this man when it comes to the debates? He says he wants to debate Joe Biden, that is, but his campaign staff don't really want that. The DNC don't want that because they know the more exposure Joe Biden gets, the worse he looks. But different story, I digress. This interview was not really much. I feel like Cardi B spoke more than Joe Biden throughout the entire interview. That was pretty interesting. Again, this was only about 15 or so minutes, between 15 to 17 minutes. This is not a very long thing. But she spoke, I think, the majority of the time about random stuff, talking about money and how much stuff costs and education and orange man bag, typical stuff, nothing really major. Even though it was heavily edited, Joe Biden still looked terrible. He looked awful. So, I mean, they could have kept this, really. All they had to do was just send him out there and talk on the Sunday shows. That's it. This was not needed. And if you're going to do something like this, don't just do that and then neglect the Sunday shows, because then it's like, number one, you hiding, and then number two, you don't hide for those that are not going to be intelligent enough to be able to understand what's happening. You think that people that like Cardi B are ignorant, and maybe you're right. So basically, they're telling you, it's like, all right, we think you're ignorant, we think you're dumb, so we'll give you this, and that'll be enough for Cardi B to basically kind of like endorsing Joe Biden without necessarily doing it specifically, just having them be together on the same quote unquote live stream, but cut up and edited. To have them together appears like she's giving him some validity. That's all that it really is. It's just a little bit of clout, a little bit of attention, and not much more. So as I close, I want to say this. The interview was ridiculous. Nothing really there. Heavily edited. I want to see this man live for at least a little while answering questions. You know, an hour, maybe 45 minutes. I want to see him look professional, look like he has a brain in his head, appear like he's not dead, and then I'll be like, all right, well, maybe he's serious. But as of right now, the Democratic Party and his campaign appear to be trying to hide him away until they can't anymore. And the longer, in their mind, in my humble opinion, the longer they hide him, the longer they'll be able to keep poll numbers kind of positive and to keep raising money. Because when you expose this man, when you put him out there in front of people, the funding is going to drop, the poll numbers are going to drop, and Trump will just get more and more and more support. That is a strategy right now. And if you think that I'm lying, just observe what's happening. Just observe. Okay, you got Trump out there speaking all the time, every day. He'll be on Fox News for an hour to the point where it's like, okay, you got to get off the phone, get to the next destination. He's out there doing rallies. He's doing whatever he can, even during the virus. Okay, you got the virus going on. That's no excuse to not do any kind of campaigning or any kind of communication to your people. You can still do that, but Joe Biden don't want to do that, or his campaign don't want him to do it because they know that it looks terrible. And the more they expose him, the worse that he looks. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that I'm correct about my assertion of Joe Biden and the campaign and the whole DNC? They don't want you to see this man at all because they know he looks terrible. They know when he's on screen, he'll say a thing that just might rub people the wrong way. He'll say something offensive, or he kind of get lost in his words. He'll be stumbling and bumbling. He looks just terrible. Okay, he can't really do a live stream talking like I do live streams every week. I do 2 myself where I'm talking for an hour straight with no stops, an hour straight every stream. And then I do a 3-hour stream twice a week. Can Joe Biden do that? Trump can do that all day. Like I was just talking about, he'll get on Fox News. They can't get him to stop talking. He'll be on there for a good hour and a half straight with no breaks, barely even prompted for a question. They got to try to get a word in edgewise over on Fox when it comes to Trump on the phone. But with Joe Biden, he's just not there. You're looking in his eyes and you wondering, like, what's going on there? Something's not right. And they know that. Okay, and they can't hide it for much longer. But to put him out there with Cardi B, they could have put him out there with somebody else. I mean, come on, Cardi B, really? That's how you're going to put out there this person? Only reason they got Cardi B is because she's popular among young people, and that's it. That was a terrible choice. And like I said before, it's insulting because people that are young still have a brain in their head. They can still look at a person and be like, all right, what do I agree with? What do I disagree with them? I don't need him to be with Cardi B to say yay or nay. Now, some people are just kind of ignorant. They don't know any better. It'll work on them. But how does it feel to have them, when I say them, I mean the mainstream media, the Democratic Party, how does it feel to have them think that about you if you're in that age group, in that category they're trying to attract? Okay, how does it feel when they go out there and say, if you don't vote Biden, you ain't black? How does that feel to then have them go out there and use this kind of black adjacent or black person, whatever you want to call her, to go out there and kind of give them the cosign? How does that really feel? I don't like this too much at all. I like what Trump said. What you got to lose? This ain't going right. This ain't going right. This ain't going right. But here I am to give you X, to give you Y, to give you Z, to help. Cut them off. We could talk about whatever's going on. I'm not trying to put these entertainers out there and give you nothing as a result. I'm not trying to give you fluff. I'm trying to give you actual tangible results. That's what you get with Trump. But with Joe Biden, you don't really get much. They probably want Kamala Harris to come in 2021 and become the president because Biden's not going to be able to go forward, whether he dies or he just cannot continue because he's medically unable to do anything else. That's their plan. That's their objective. Is that what you want? It's not what I want, but whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.